Good day all. This is Professor Misbah from the CAT fraternity. Architecture is a creative and artful way to make an impact on the society. Enrolling at a reputable institution to pursue this degree program presents many benefits. We at CAT ensure that every student here gets the best out of learning. Getting to the topic, I am here to introduce you to the short briefing of how to crack NATA 2021. Over to the slides. NATA. It is the National Aptitude Test in Architecture, an entrance test for BArch degree program. In this section, we are going to see about the second part of our coaching program, which is numerical reasoning. It is to check your mathematical ability through simple problems. So the subjects or the topics covered under this head will be basic maths and physics, which you are familiar with through your school days. So the type of questions which appear under this section will be multiple choice questions or numerical answer type questions. Multiple choice questions have 4 options, out of which you have to select one correct option. Whereas the numerical answer type questions will not have any options. You have to solve the problem, find an answer, and enter the numerical value in the answer sheet. Now let me share a few tips and tricks to solve these problems. The first and foremost thing you have to do is do a careful reading and find out what is the question asked in the problem. That is very essential. And the next thing is sort all the given data. The data which we really need for the calculations are the relevant information, and the other data which are given are irrelevant and can be ignored at the moment. Then once the relevant information are collected, focus and find the proper solution for the problem, the formulae, the theorem used, anything, and do the necessary calculations and solve the problem. Once you solve the problem, take the 4 options, eliminate the wrong ones, and fix the correct option. So this is going to give you the right way of solving the numerical reasoning questions. So we'll just brush through some important topics of physics and maths. So the first and foremost topic will be geometry. So you should be knowing the names of different 2D polygons, regular polygons, because in the question paper, they just mention the name of the polygon without mentioning the number of sides it has. So if you are familiar with, it will be easy for you to solve these problems. And of course, you need to know the basic proportionality theorem, which is a base for many calculations. So you should be aware of that. Then also a few more topics like theorems regarding circles, cyclic quadrilaterals, chords, tangents, and arcs, etc. have to be covered. And the next topic, which is very important again, is mensuration. So this deals with the area, the surface area, or the perimeter, or the volume of a space, which is more necessary for architects as well. So you have to have these formulae in tips so that you can just apply this and do the calculations. Then go through trigonometry, which is very, very essential. So trigonometry has its application like finding the height of the towers, finding the distance between 2 points which are inaccessible, or even finding the angle of inclination of a roof, slope roof. So these are some of its applications. And for this, you need to be well versed with the identities, the trigonometric ratios of different angles, specified angles like 0, 30, 45, 60, and 90 degree, which will help you perform the calculations in a more faster pace. Then obviously you will have to know the ratio, proportions, percentages. This will not come as a separate question, but still it will come as a part of a question. So you need to know the basics of the ratio, proportion, and percentage as well. Then coming to physics, we have a lot of topics to be covered in physics as well. So the basic thing you have to do is heat, energy, and laws of motion. And of course, another important topic in physics will be speed. So these have to be brushed up before you are entering for the examination hall. So in speed, you will find a lot of questions coming up, like with the calculations which make use of the relative speed, then the distance traveled, the time taken, so and such things. We will see one example for this. In this particular problem, they have given only the time taken by the train to travel from point X to Y, and another train which travels again from Y to X, and the time varies, which gives a clue that there is a variation in the speed of the travel, but the distance between X and Y remain the same. So we have to assume the distance between X and Y as say a variable X, and then we have to generate the equations, and solving it, we can find the solution of this particular problem. So the proper way of bringing the given data, the assumption, and the performing of calculations will help you finish the problem in a faster pace. Similarly, there is one more problem from geometry. So here, if you see this image, you may even get confused. What sort of a shape is this? But this particular shape, 2D shape, has 5 sides. It is an irregular pentagon. So now you have to know this formula. The sum of angles in a polygon of n sides is n minus 2 into 180. This is the only key for this particular problem, which you should be well versed with. So once you know this, you can just apply this for 5 sides. Say it has 5 sides, so we have applying that the n as 5 and coming with an answer 540 degrees. So now if you add the angles A, B, C, D, E and equate it to 540, you get the value of X. And it's quite easier only when you know the formula beforehand. So you have to brush through all the formulae and the theorems before you sit for the examination. Yes, there is one more example I have given. So in this particular problem, what are the data given? One is 4 meter high. The first thing they have given is 4 meter high, which means the height of the room is 4 meters. Then they have again given a data that the length and breadth are increased by 4 meters. Once they are added with 4 meters, they come in the ratio 4:3. And when they are decreased by 4 meters, they are in the ratio 2:1. And now they are asking us to find the dimension of the room. Do you find any connection with the height of the room in this particular problem? No, not at all. So this 4 meter is the irrelevant data which they give you to just confuse you. So you might be searching for a formula which involves the height of the room as well, but that is not essential for this particular problem. So the way they solve is assuming the length as L and breadth as B. They are arriving at 2 equations. One when the dimensions are increased by 4 meters, and one when the dimensions are decreased by 4 meters. Solving the 2 equations, we get the value of L and B, and height has no clue here. So this is what I was talking in the beginning of the presentation as the irrelevant data which has to be ignored. So be very careful while reading the problem and sorting out the relevant information and arriving at a formula which can be used to solve the particular problem. Yes. Now, you might have a lot of questions in your mind. So I have sorted a few questions. Hope I answer your questions as well. So this particular part, say the numerical reasoning part, always takes more time than other sections. Why? Actually, this particular section has no complex maths. They also have the time limit. And so they give simpler problems only. But still, the difficulty here lies in the short of time. So within 45 to 75 seconds, you should be able to solve a question. So which is a challenge for you. So this can be solved only by repeated working out of problems and brushing up the important formulae. Yes, the second question. Sometimes we are not given enough data to perform calculations. How can we manage that? This also happens. Arriving at equations and solving is the most usable way of solving a problem. But to arrive at an equation, we won't be having enough data. At that times, estimation is the key. We have to rule out the unwanted options and select the closer option, which is more good enough for this particular section. So there might be a few assumptions, and since the questions are multiple choice, you have the option of ruling out the wrong options and picking one right option out of the other three. Then what sort of a preparation will help in attending this session? Your mental muscles should be strengthened only by repeated working out of problems. See, attend as many problems and work out as many aptitude test problems beforehand so that you will have the time management of solving each and every problem. So that is going to be the solution to attend this particular test. Okay. So addition to that, be very confident with all the formulae and the theorems, which will help you solving the problems at a faster pace. Now we are moving to the end of part 2. So you can expect to improve your verbal reasoning and enhance your ability to solve situational problems by attending our session 3. Wait for the session 3, which will be verbal reasoning and situational judgment. Thank you guys. Meet you in the next session. Bye-bye.